All right, and we are live. That was my new intro video. I got inspired by somebody I did a podcast with the other day, Doug Mitchell, and he had this cool intro video, and it's just better than a countdown. So, got to give it up for my guy for putting that video together in the last hour. And we have Michael Grigery on with us today. I always get the last name wrong. Is I get it right? Grigery?
I've heard it pronounced so many ways. Honestly, I don't even know how to pronounce it. People in my family do.
That's why
It's like Gregory, but grit, not Greg, but grit. So
that's why in the military they just gave up and started calling me Ski because they just butchered it. So that's my nickname through everything. But welcome, thank you so much for coming on early from sunny South California. It is an honor to be here with you today. I'm actually more nervous to speak with you than, no offense to anybody else, but I mean, you're a hero, my idol, my mentor, and I'm excited to have you on today. So thank you for everybody who's tuning in. If you know Michael, please chime in, talk all the good things about him because he is, there you go. See, look, I mean, just everybody's just going already today. So I'm excited to be here, Mike. Thank you so much. Real quick, if you just want to do a quick intro for the people who don't know you, and we'll get started with that.
All right. Michael Grigery, the people that are commenting, I already know really well. I lost my voice on Monday, so it's still a little bit weak. I don't normally sound like this. I own Click Call Sell, digital marketing company for home service businesses. I'm also a Conquer coach. And I got the opportunity to work with JC for 2.5 years, and got to see some really, really cool transformation. My passion in life is to wake up and help small business owners crush it every day. So this kind of thing is why I wake up and get out of bed. So thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's such a joy to see you. And I just got done hanging out with you out in South Carolina with Sales Boost, Pat Clark, and just every time we see each other, there's no disconnect. It's like we just saw each other the day before. So I love that. I love seeing videos of you on social. I know you just don't like doing them because you're so busy, but anytime I hear your voice or see your face, I immediately smile. And I know what you're doing for the community. The home service industry is absolutely incredible. You have impacted so many lives out there. And we're just so grateful for everything you do and have to offer. So thank you again. So real quick, we got a little recap of what you are, what you do. So I got entrepreneur, business owner, Conquer coach, leader, mentor, my hero, sadly a droid user, but most importantly, a father and a husband.
Yeah. Nobody gives me more crap than you about owning a Google Pixel.
There's nothing worse than getting a green text, especially when you're in like a group text with a bunch of iPhone users. Then all of a sudden, there comes that knock at the door, and it's the droid user, and it just goes green. And then there's no more little bubbles. So
I love ruining all of your fun. It makes me happy.
I swear one day I'm just going to send you a personal phone just for me. All right. So you're coming live from South California. How's the weather out there today? Because it is beautiful in North Carolina today.
I bet it's better there than it is here. So after this call, I'm going to Legoland with my wife and my son and my father-in-law.
Nice.
And it's a cold, dreary day. So it's 60 degrees and cloudy.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's probably good because it won't be as busy. So I'm excited that we might own the park today. That should be really cool.
Well, that's exciting. I don't think I've ever been to Legoland, but I'm sure I could keep myself entertained there for hours. And
every time my kid sees it, all he says, "I want to go there. I want to go there." So we're like, "Fine, we're gonna take him to Legoland." So
awesome.
That's
awesome. He's gonna love that. Yeah, it's like 70 degrees outside. I just got done going for a run with some random neighbor I met who I asked if you want to go for a run. She said, "Yeah, I'll go." Retired woman, and we just have some really fun conversations talking about kids and life now. And that's like my weekday motivation now, is just getting out and running with people. So couldn't get you to run in South Carolina, but one day I'll get you out there.
I'll do the bike. I tore my ACL and meniscus in college playing football. Not college football, but playing football in college. And high impact, man. Ever since then, it rocks me.
Angela's saying hi from wherever she's at right now. And we got a good crowd today. It looks like we have 4,000 people tuning in for this one. That's incredible. It's actually 6, but 4,000 sounds a lot better for the audience. All right, so let's kick this off. We're going to talk a little bit about life, business, and something amazing that you're working on that's going to be incredible for the home service industry. But, you mentor a lot of businesses. You're a Conquer coach. You've done an incredible job building up companies within Conquer and building the confidence for them to be successful in everything they do today. So thank you for that. And, the 2.5 years that I spent with you, our very first call, most viewers know this, but when I jumped on, our intro call was me holding a Yingling and just chugging it at like 10 o'clock in the morning because I was just having a really hard day. And that's how you met me. So not the best.
Yeah. Well, that was the only time it ever happened. So that was
Yes.
good.
Yes. Because after working with you, like life changed. And, we've had some great times together, great conversations. It was you who said to me, we're on a call one day and like, you said, dude, you realize you just hit $1 million in your company. And it never hit me until you told me. I was like, holy cow, we did. Like, that was incredible to be able to share that experience with you.
I love tracking people's numbers and telling them they hit $1 million before they know they did. And I love that. It makes me really happy.
Yeah. And it's got to be like just amazing for you, for all the conquer, people that you've coached in the 6 figures and watch them go into the 7 figures and be a part of that. So
it is. It's an amazing feeling. And honestly, it's just a number, but it's like the number everybody tries to hit. It's like the first real milestone. And you hit it and you're like, all right, now it's next. But you spent so long. So taking time to celebrate that win is a really, really important thing.
Yeah, it's one thing I did not do. When you told me about it, I was just like, oh, cool. Now what? And I should have, just enjoyed it, the moment, celebrate it. So take time to celebrate the wins. Like Michael said, it's really important. That's a huge milestone. I think, 5 years ago, hitting 7 figures was like the unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just such a far reach for so many people to be able to attain that because we didn't have the tools and resources we have today, like Conquer, like coaches like yourself. And now hitting 7 figures, if you're following the steps that you're providing and executing on those daily tasks and holding yourself responsible, it's a lot easier. So if you don't have a coach, you need to look into getting a coach like Michael, like Conquer, and to just be surprised at how fast you'll be able to move that mark every single day, every single year. All right, so let's talk about business owners. I know you like talking with business owners. We've talked a lot about new businesses and things that we need to implement to start the business. So what's one piece of advice you would give to a new entrepreneur that's getting ready to start his business today, next month, or this year, just to set them on the right path to be successful?
I don't think it's one thing. I think it's like probably a combination of things. But the first one is to don't be afraid of the unknown. Like embrace the things you don't know and start to surround yourself with people who know those things so that you can have a path to get there a little bit easier. One example would be numbers. I remember our first call ever, JC, one-on-one, not the Yingling group call, but you still say you're not good with the numbers, but I know you're way better than you were. But the fear, the overwhelming fear, and I know you can speak probably emotionally to just not knowing the numbers, so just shutting down. And if you know the numbers and how the gross net profit works in your business, that's going to be so many levels ahead of where most people are. Because if you know how the income gets spread out across all the different pieces of your business, you'll know how to scale a 7-figure company.
Yeah, numbers are very scary and very important at the same time. And it's like you said, in the beginning, I was horrible with numbers, and now I'm trying to get a lot better about it. And I'm still not where you want me to be, but it's good to be able to track those metrics daily, weekly, monthly, hold yourself accountable to those. And I will say last year for our goals, for the overall year, it was actually pretty incredible because we were within $5,000 and $10,000 off on our goals. And we went over on both of them for the Wash side and the Patriot side. So it was pretty cool to see, what we planned for the whole year, months prior to the year beginning, and be able to hit those things right on the mark by holding ourselves.
It feels really good, right?
Yeah.
It feels really good. Yeah. So you've heard me tell this story, but one of my favorite JC stories, and I think this is the reason why you like me, I may be wrong, but our first one-on-one, you've heard me tell this story, but I went through and your numbers tell a story. And so we talked about your labor rates were really good. And I was like, oh, you don't have a lot of turnover, probably a lot of loyalty in your team. Like, yep, that's great. And then we go to your small tool and supplies. And I was like, oh, your office is super disorganized. You got stuff everywhere. You probably love shopping at Home Depot. You're like, that's crazy. How do you know that? And like, okay, then we go down to your vehicle repairs and maintenance was really high. So, I started telling you about your business and I didn't even know you. And I think that moment is when you trusted me, because I could like literally tell you about your business without even knowing who you were. And that's the power of knowing the numbers, is that anybody can come in and look and analyze your business and start coaching you right away. Or you can start doing some self-assessment if you know the impact that these different line items have on your P&L.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't know the numbers, get deep in them, get involved with them, study them, look at them daily, weekly, monthly, and hold yourself and your team accountable for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, enough about numbers, because like I tell Dan, But you wanted to bring it up, so we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's very important as a young entrepreneur getting ready to start is to get involved in every aspect of that and set yourself up for success. So, all right. So you own Click Call Sell, and you don't have an internal office where people come to you. So you have a lot of remote employees. How is it that you are able to have great culture with that, being so remote from everybody, to keep everybody engaged, keep everybody excited? Because I assume you have some great or very low turnover as well, too. You've built a phenomenal company. And just talk about what you're doing to promote the culture within your company for remote workers.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So there is definitely a learning curve to hiring people remote, whether they're in the United States or out of the United States. And it really comes down to finding the right person for the job. And the right person for the job is built on your process. So if you're going to build a company that is remote, you have to have processes dialed in first. The people make the process better. You're never going to find somebody that's sitting at a random desk in Nebraska that's just going to be able to save your company for you. That's not going to happen. But if you have a crystal clear vision, you document exactly what needs to be done, and you start to be able to measure that, then it's going to help them understand what the job is. Culture after that becomes pretty easy, because if I sell the vision to somebody, I make them believe in where we're going together. Then we become more of a tribe than anything else. Not necessarily a family. I don't like using family, but we're like a tribe. We're all working with one common goal. We understand exactly what our role is to get to that place, and we're all just moving in the same direction together. So what we do internally, we're a little larger now. We have 25 employees, but it's very separated by teams. We've got the yellow team, the blue team, and the green team. The yellow team is sales and marketing. The blue team is operations, and the green team is finance and admin. And they all have their own interdepartmental meetings. They're all very siloed and work together. For example, our brand manager has been with us for 2 months now. I was just thinking this morning that I don't think she's really ever met a lot of the operations team, account managers, because she's in the yellow team and they're pretty sectioned off. So that being said, we have a quarterly meeting. Every quarter, all 25 people get together, or how many employees we have at the time, and we have a quarterly meeting. So Jay, our director of admin, she puts together like fun games, team building exercises, and we for 2 hours each quarter just to get together and kind of share wins, give prizes, just do a very open. We have an open book policy in our company, so we share all the numbers, the direction. It's just a really good time, so everybody can see each other and know that we're very positive. We have 11 employees in the Philippines, 11 or 12, and they have their own group chat. They're communicating with each.
Uh-oh, I think we might have lost Michael. Where did you go, Mr. Michael? All right, so we'll wait for him to come back on in a second. But yeah, so culture is important because, as Michael was saying, he doesn't have anybody in his office. Everything they're doing is remote, and it's important that no matter where your team is, that you focus on the culture, because keeping them present, keeping them engaged is important for that, because you want them to be your number one advocate. You want them to be your number one recruiter. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I just didn't lose internet. It's weird. Okay. Am I back? Where'd you leave? Where'd you lose me?
It was so deep in everything talking about the culture, but it was the separation of the teams and the quarterly. You ended off on with talking about the games and some other stuff.
Okay, so the quarterly meetings are really important, and then each week the individual teams are meeting. So the content teams meeting together, the social media teams meeting together, the account managers are meeting together. So they're in their own little core groups. Have been it's a team of teams. They're working together very closely. So my job is I have my director of operations, my brand manager, and director of admin. Those three people roll up under me. And so my job is really to coach the leaders and leaders in the organization, because I rely on them to be able to lead their teams respectively. Because as you know, once you get to a certain size, you can't do everything. There's no way I know everything that's happening on a day-to-day basis of the company. So I have to rely on really talented people that are bought into the vision, and we all kind of go together. So they are also very connected to the teams as well.
Yeah, I love that. So you're the second person to mention games. Can you just give me a quick example of games? Because I forget who it was just recently said they do games with their remote employees too.
Oh yeah. Oh, so many. So, what favorite one we did last meeting was everybody took a baby photo, and we all had to guess whose baby photo it was.
Nice.
We've done a game where we took a picture of just our desk in our computer, our office setup. And we had to guess who that was. We've done random scavenger hunts where you have to find some item that has the memories to you, and then we vote on who has the best memory or story about that. Yeah, so it's every quarter we have just a different fun game, but those are the three that immediately stand out.
Angela was just saying that she does a group chat and they asked what their 10th favorite dessert was because they've already gone through the first 9. I'm like, I can't even think past my first favorite dessert, let alone the next 9. But yeah, it's fun. It's important. And you said you spent 2 hours doing this. And a lot of people would be like, why would I want to waste 2 hours on my team when they could be actually working, making money? You want to just talk about that real quick and why that's important?
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would say that. Well, I guess with the experience I have, that 2 hours you spend is going to increase morale. It's going to reduce turnover. Just a reduction in turnover alone is worth that time itself, because when people feel a sense of belonging, it makes them want to try better and be in part of that tribe. So we try to make everybody feel like they belong and they have a purpose, and we enjoy working with them. Trust me, I will fire somebody in the middle of a call if they're not performing. Like, I have no issues firing somebody, but if you're performing, you're a good member of our team, and you're hitting your measurables, you are a very incredibly valued member of our team. So I will go above and beyond to do anything I possibly can for you, and so will our leaders.
Yeah. No, it's the 2 hours. You can't look at it like, oh, that's going to cost me, $500 in payroll. No, what's the investment in that time spent with them? How much value to get out of them buying into your company, your vision? Like you're saying, we did laser tag a couple weeks ago, and the team got done early with a job, and we didn't want to throw something else on them and then go laser tag sweating and dirty and everything. So we actually went to the parking lot of laser tag, brought pizza and drinks, and just sat in the parking lot for 2 hours and waited for the laser tag to open because we felt that time was more valuable than trying to crunch in another 100, 200, 400 bucks, whatever it was. And I didn't sit there and like, well, we better clock out the second we leave this door because of all. No, just do it. Don't question it. If you're doing fun days, fun activities, pay your employees, because then they're not going to want to be there anyway. And it's just, don't look at the money thing. Look at the investment in your team and your culture.
Yep.
So
watch what happens when people buy into your vision. Like, they truly enjoy working for you. Like, it brings happiness to their life. That's what you want to create in employees.
100%. You got to be very intentional with your culture.
Yep.
So we talk about being fathers a lot and time and separation and things like that. And you do something really great as well, which you'll touch on here. But how do you set boundaries to protect your time as a business owner? Or actually, how do you set the boundaries both personal and professionally?
Okay. Yeah. So, the time, we don't have endless amounts of it, and it's very, very protected. So again, one of the benefits of coaching is that not only do I get better at speaking about specific topics and understanding perspectives, but I get to understand the perspective of the people that I coach as well. Like, all the challenges and things that you've gone through, JC, are like in my memory bank. So the next time somebody deals with that thing, I know, oh, here's 3 or 4 ways that I've seen people overcome that challenge, and you can kind of find and chart your own path. Same question about separating your personal and business time is, I've coached, and I talked about this at Sales Boost. I've coached so many people that are, late 30s, early 40s, maybe mid 40s, that are on their second marriage, maybe their second set of kids. And these are like grown men crying on a call saying that they don't want to make the same mistakes that they did when they were younger, because they were just completely beholden to their business. They could not get out of their own way, and they couldn't raise their kids. They couldn't go to the games. They couldn't, have dinner with their wife and their kids and their family. That hits home, man. Like, that's real. And so because of that, I've really learned how to say, you know what, I'm not going to be the dad that doesn't go to soccer practice. I'm not going to be the dad that doesn't do these things. So I work from 7:30 to 4:30 every day, uninterrupted. Everybody in my family knows, like, if something needs to happen between 7:30 and 4:30, it's not an emergency. Like, I'm not available. Like, whatever it is, just I'm not available. But from 4:30 until 9:30, when my son goes to bed, my wife and I are like hanging out, kids hanging out, like, it's sacred. So everybody knows, if you're messaging me between like 4:30 and 9, I'm probably not going to respond. If I do, it's going to be super short, because I really do separate my time with my family and my business. And I think it's really healthy that people do that, because you only got one shot with your kids, man. You only got one shot. And if you mess that up, you can't go back. You can't fix it. And I don't want to be the dad that thinks, oh, I missed that or I missed this because I was too busy making $100 or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, I love that, how intentional you are with that time blocking for your family, because like you said, you're not going to get that time back. That phone call can wait. Not the world's not burning down unless it's like a disaster, something serious that can get answered later after we're done spending time with the family. And it's just so important that we do focus and realize that, because we get so caught up in the motions and the frustrations and the acts at work that we're like, I got to get this done now, or else it's not going to ever get done, or I'm not going to be able to get this job if I don't call them right now at 6 o'clock, right in the middle of dinner. They'll be there. They're going to wait. But your family, that's the important thing. They're your biggest supporters, your biggest tribe, like you said. And yes, you got to be able to separate time and work, or family and work, from each other, and focus on what's really important. So
Absolutely.
I love that. And all right, so we talked a little about family, we talked about culture, we talked about starting your business and running, or speaking of starting a business, I know you're working on something really fun and exciting right now, and I'm really looking forward to see this roll out. But if you would explain to people what it is, because I'm sure half our viewers don't even know what the second part of the first of the name is. So let's talk about Service Rolodex.
All right. Yeah, I've been working on this for 9 months now. It's such a huge project. I think like most entrepreneurs, you start something, you're like, this is a really good idea. And then you get like into it and you're like, this is pretty big, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. So it's become a really large project. So last June or July, I came up with the idea. So we just broken 200 active subscriptions with Click Call Sell. And one of the most common things that I get asked is, hey, do you know anybody in this other industry, or somebody that we can work with and like do some referral partnerships, or just lead share? And came up with the idea that what if we built a networking group with just our Click Call Sell members that would allow a painter and a handyman to get connected, or a painter and a pressure washer, maid service, landscaping, whatever, to get connected. Because in some markets of the country, we've got like 4 or 5 industries and they don't even know each other. That's messed up. Like we got 4 750 and ahead small businesses, and we have nobody that's they're not working. They don't know each other, not working together. So we decided, what if we created a referral network with our groups and our clients? And then we thought, okay, that's great. What's going to keep it going? So if anybody listening to this and you've tried to have a referral group in the past, it probably failed because nobody took charge. Nobody said, I'm the person that's going to lead this thing. I'm the person that's going to come up with an agenda, and let's just really make this thing happen. That's why they fall apart. So I wanted to create a brand that kind of made people see the value in it, and gave the value from a business standpoint. So we came up with a company and a concept called Service Rolodex. So it's servicerolodex.com. Think B&I group for home service businesses. You can't be in it unless you're a home service business owner. And what it is all your networking, or all your marketing materials kind of created for you, for yourself and your group. So we have written hundreds of emails, pre-written email templates for every industry, thousands of social media posts, text message blasts, and voicemail audio messages that you can get completely automated directly for you and your business, as well as materials that you can use to promote your own group. So if you have 3 or 4 people in your Rolodex in wherever you are, Wilmington, and what Service Rolodex will do is we'll create postcards, leave behinds, and direct mail pieces for you and your group. We'll create cross-promotional text messages and emails like, hey, I just used Cape Fear for my house wash. It was an amazing experience. If you're looking for a great house washing experience, call Cape Fear. And then the maid service, the handyman will do the same thing. So really leveraging each other's databases. So we launched it here in San Diego in January, and we've got 5 members, 3 are very active, and we've got access to dozens of property managers, all the commercial contacts. And so we have a meeting next Tuesday where we're going to really start forming ways to get in front of each other's network, B2B networking groups, so we can be in front of more realtors, more property managers, more apartment complex owners, and really start to leverage each other's databases to grow. So all the marketing materials you need, and a referral partnership program kind of done for you. And that's what Service Rolodex is all about.
I love this. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. You mentioned the BNI, and it's just one of those things that people like to do, don't like to do, but it doesn't have anywhere near the benefits and the value that you're bringing with Service Rolodex. And, just be able to collaborate with local business owners, people that you can trust and to refer, because there's nothing worse than completing a job for a homeowner or a customer, and they say, hey, I need this service. Do you know anybody? I hate leaving that and saying, no, I don't, because you always want to be able to refer somebody that can do the work for them, because now you're providing more value for them. And now that, since you'll be able to like team up as a local tribe to work together and cross refer, get the marketing material out there and have it all systemized and automated, because everything you do is just absolutely incredible. It's just brilliant and exciting. So when should we expect this to be able to like kind of go live nationwide, and how do I sign up?
If anybody's in San Diego right now, we're recruiting people actively. So we're getting it all formed in San Diego. I mean, I mentioned it was more difficult. The hardest part we're finding right now is onboarding. So anybody that's really into automation right now, it sounds like super awesome, and do automation. It's incredible. But first, there's 3 steps. First, you have to like find the automation software you want to use. Then you have to build all the rules out, and that takes time. And we're an expert to be able to do that. We spent about $15,000 building out just the automation piece. And what I didn't think about is onboarding. And this is where we're kind of stuck right now. And what I'm actively spending most of my days on is how, because if you join JC, we need your logo, we need your colors, we need your fonts, we need your offers, we need the time of the year that you want to advertise. We need to basically take all the templates we have and plug it into you. And it's probably an hour or 2 hours of your time or somebody on your staff's time to get us everything that we need. And if people are busy, man, like it's really hard to get all that information. So we're working with Video Ask right now, just to make like a start and stop kind of process to be able to say, here's what we need now, get it done. You can just move through it as fast as you want. And then the third part of automation is the changes, making sure it works. And if you want to change or alter something. So as an example, you want to send out a text blast on June 30th, but you're booked out 8 weeks. I don't want to send that text blast right now. I'm booked out too far. I want to do it on July 15th. So being able to like modify and change the automation that you've already preset is something else needs to happen. So we've hired 5 people. We have 5 employees that are all doing Service Rolodex right now, and we have 3 to 5 members. So it's a huge project that I'm so bullish on, because I know that everybody wants this. It's just somebody needs to take charge and own the space.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, I've heard you talk about it several times. You're extremely passionate about it and excited about it. So I hope that you figure out a way to get it more, the onboarding process, for people to realize like, hey, we need to do this now. We can't sit on this for 2-3 weeks, because if they're sitting on it, then everybody else is kind of waiting for them to get going. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of looks like, hey, we're waiting on Mike over here to get us the stuff, and everybody else is ready, but Mike's not here. So what's going on, Mike?
Yeah, the human component's there. The value of like what you bring as like an individual is there, but the marketing materials that we can use to support each other, that's where you're really going to see the benefits. Like leave behinds. Every job you do, leave behind a card for 3 or 4 other businesses you work with and recommend, as your preferred vendors. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool benefits to getting the resources from all the businesses.
And then did you mention it about you said the local meetups and everything? When don't you have one coming up, or you just have one?
Yeah, next Tuesday, the 18th is our next meetup. So yeah, we're going to one of the people, another great benefit. We're going to one of the owners' shops, and we get to do a tour of their shop, how it's organized, how it's set up. So imagine going into a different industry's location to see like how's their office done, what CRMs they use, what's their leaderboard look like, all the different ideas you're going to get from just seeing other successful businesses in your area.
And you do exclusivity, right? One per service?
One per industry, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So hopefully we'll be seeing more about that and going live nationwide here in the very near future. I know you've put a lot of time, money, and effort into it, and I'm excited for it. It's something that a lot of us have talked about in the past. And like you said, it's that execution. There's never that one leader to take charge and do it. Guilty myself. I've said I was going to do it and just get caught up, squirrel, everything else. So good on you for bringing some value to the industry. And I know it's going to be a huge success once you go live with that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Awesome. All right. So I like to end with just a random question, just kind of get you thinking and kind of see where your head's at. But if you could switch lives with one fictional character, who would it be?
One fictional character. Well, it'd be a superhero. Iron Man.
Nice. Good old Tony
I've never
Stark.
thought about that before. Iron Man for sure. Yeah.
That's
got everything. And he can fly.
Entrepreneur, billionaire. What's he say? Philanthropist. Mm-hmm. I like that when he said that with when it was Avengers and he's in the plane with Hulk or Captain America, whatever it was.
It's actually really sad. I haven't seen many of the Avengers movies.
Oh my God.
I saw the Iron Man movies.
I watch them all the time with the kids. It's my favorite. Actually, I chose Superman. I'm a superhero guy myself. So I love the Avengers, but something about Superman, I just grew up on reading every single comic of his. And I loved watching Smallville, Small Town Boy, and all that stuff. So good stuff. All right, Michael. So we talked a lot. We talked about Sober's Rolodex, which we're all excited to be hearing more about in the near future. Talked about your tribe, the culture, things you're doing, and how you separate that family time, which is so important. Every time you tell me that, I get chills because you're just very intentional with it, and it's easy to say we're going to do it, but you actually execute on that all the time. So, do you have any parting words for everybody today?
You put me on the spot too many times. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Embrace the unknown. And if you don't make it, the reason is because of you, not because of the employees or anybody else. So your why has to be bigger than the challenges you face every day. Just go for it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. I hope you have the best time at Legoland. Can't wait to hear about it, and look forward to seeing you again soon in the near future.
All right. Take care, JC. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.